Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther and this is Conversations with E. Hey guys, how have you been? I hope you guys have been good. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome to our channel. Even though it's just me, but welcome to our channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you so much for showing me love. I love you so much. I find it so hard to do that, like new love heart. Like I think this is easier. So wait, I love you guys so much. Anywho, today we are going to be talking about uni. And before we get started, I actually want to address the fact that I have a change again in this video. I know you guys are probably like, Esther, what's with all the changes? It's either the background, it's either this, that. I get it, guys. I apologize. So basically, my laptop is broken at the moment, and the mics I usually use connect to my laptop for them to work. So no laptop, no mics. But luckily for us, we have this as an alternative. I hope that it's going to be able to like deliver sound as well as like the other ones. But I think it's a good substitute for now. And as always, guys, let me know if the sound is okay. If you guys think I should probably change mics, if you are just like wait until you get a new laptop, you guys let me know because I value your opinion. But yeah, please let me know in the comments. I think we should just get straight into today's video. And today we are going to be talking about university, college. I don't know what you guys call it. Everybody calls it something different. It's either uni in one country, university in another, college. Sometimes college is a different thing to uni. It's all a lot. But today I'm going to be talking about my uni journey. I'm just like giving you guys like a roadmap exactly of like when it started, when it ended. You guys also, I love getting you guys involved. So you guys asked me a couple of questions on Instagram and I'm going to be answering those questions in this video as well. So yeah, just to kind of get started. So my uni journey began in 2016. So 2016, I went into uni. I finished secondary school and I went straight into uni. And I was 17 at the time. I just turned 17 when I finished sixth year. And then I went into my first year of uni. And I actually went in, I was studying dental nursing. Initially, I wanted to do general nursing. Thank the Lord he didn't let me do that because not cut out for that field, guys. It's not for me. You guys are some strong soldiers. You guys are troopers because it's not for me. But basically, I went in. This is just me giving you guys a timeline, by the way. So 2016, I went in, was 17 years old, got through my first year, didn't pass my first year. I'll get to that in a second. Didn't pass my first year, had to repeat first year. So technically in my second year, but repeating first year. And now it is 2017. So the term is 2017, 2018. You know how the school year is like 2016, 2017. So now this is 2017 September. Yeah, I went in, then was repeating my first year. And then halfway through the repeating of my first year, I just decided to drop out. Like,
no way.
Guys, words to the wise, don't be like me. Don't follow my example. Don't be like me. But yeah, I dropped out. I'm sorry. I keep laughing about it because it's just funny when I think about it. I didn't consult a soul. I just went in and just dropped out. And then I had to break the news to my parents. As you can imagine what that was like. That was a whole thing in itself. Took a year out because I made a decision to go back to uni because I did want to study and I did want to get my degree. And I went back in then in 2019 and then I finished in 2023. So that is about, how many years is that? 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So that's like, what, 7-8 years? That's long, guys. One thing I'm going to say to you guys is don't be like me. if there's one thing you can take from this video is don't envy not a single person's story, because I promise you, if you knew the ins and outs, you'd be looking at people sideways. Like, I know some of y'all are looking at me sideways right now, and I apologize. I apologize. But yeah, to get started on my journey. So obviously, very very young, very naive. I'm going into first year of uni doing my dental nursing. Didn't know that much about it, to be honest, but picked the course anyways. It seemed pretty easy. And to be very honest, if you are a hard worker and if you actually like stick to like going to classes and following the material, it's not a hard industry to go into. I was just very 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 childish, to say the least. Like, very childish, to be honest, like if I'm being honest, because I went into uni, I moved away for uni. It was a good experience, but like coincidentally I actually went to the same uni as my brother, so my big brother was there. So when I went there, I was there with my big brother, but I got really caught up in the social life. So I was like, oh my god, hangouts, just staying late, everybody's house, everybody's chilling, you know, those college debates. You be at someone's house, you order some food, you're talking till the AMs. Like, that's what I was on in uni. Like, I was going classes a bit, but then as I was going into it, I just lost my way, started missing classes, would stay in the canteen rather than go to class. I was actually just such a waste man, guys. It was so bad. It was so bad. So basically that resulted in me passed my modules for first semester, but second semester failed all my modules, and it was so bad. So I had to repeat the year, which was so embarrassing. But like, I can't blame anyone, because when I look back on it, I'm like, this makes a lot of sense, like a lot of sense why I'm repeating. Went in again first year. I mean, to repeat first year, but technically second year. Sorry guys for all these terms. I know you're probably getting so confused, but this is now me repeating my first year of uni, and this is September 2017. And I came back then, I did the same thing. I told myself, I was like, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to be focused. But I did the same thing. I got lost in the sauce, hanging out too much, you know, having fun, doing whatever. And it was the same result. But this time round, it really affected my mind. And I realized that my mental was so affected that I was just out of it. And eventually I got to such a like dark place that like I just ended up dropping out. It was, I wouldn't say it was impulsive, but it was like a build up. So like basically I was thinking about this decision for weeks and weeks. And in me thinking about this decision, I isolated myself so badly. So like, although I was living in the same area as my brother, I wouldn't see him. I would purposely ignore him. I wouldn't answer the door if he came to my house, all for the sake of just being like, oh, I can't be around people, because my mind was just not in its right state, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, I went one day into college. I went to my head of department and I was like, yeah, I want to drop out. I didn't tell my family for like 2 weeks. And then obviously rent was coming up. I have no money to pay for rent, and I had to contact my family, and I was like, okay, I kind of need to come home. And then I told my brother, I was like, yeah, I dropped out. And he's like, why would you do that? And I was just like, I don't know, I just had to. And guys, this story in itself is long. It's basically dropped out, came home, came back to live with my family, my parents. As you can imagine, that was not a rosy daisy time. Understandably so, you know, being the first daughter, you know, you're already in an African household, culture wise, they came here for us, you know, the whole shebang. Like, the least you could do is get your degree, but that's not what my mind was on. So I came home. It's very, very tough being at home. Obviously, have to find a job now. I'm obviously a college dropout. I've got this title on me, all these titles that are on me. And then I start getting really, really down. So it was really bad, because it's like, yeah, all these things are kind of self-inflicted basically, because I led myself to all of these places. I can't really blame anybody, but it's like having to go through this, especially without expressing how you feel, because I also distanced myself from my friends at that time, because I'm also the type of person, unless you're with me every day, you're not going to know if I'm going through stuff, if that makes sense. So it's like, I'm not the one to be the first to volunteer to express myself or to tell people, oh yeah, this is going on. Really, really bad trait, but that's just how it was. So like, I was at home, I would keep everything like bottled in, and then it really got to me, guys, and my mind went to the darkest place it's probably ever gone, like in my life. Even till this day, my mind has never gone that dark before. The thoughts that were coming in, like, it was like suicidal thoughts, dark thoughts. You're not supposed to be here. You're an absolute failure. Like, I'm smiling while I was saying this because if I really go back, I'll just get emotional. I start crying, and we ain't got time for that. But it was really, really bad. And I just lost the will to even be here. And that's how bad it was. I've never gotten to that place before. So when it happened, I was like, whoa, like this is a really dark time in my life. Like this is not great. And now looking back, I can recognize that that was the enemy. But in that moment, I just believed because I've done all of these things, I kind of deserve to feel this way because I should have been going to class. I should have been doing better. And I didn't feel like I could reach out to anyone for help. And I was just keeping everything in. Fast forward a few months, it came one day that I was really, really, really down at home. And I just cried out to God. And obviously, I grew up in the church basically from day zero, like from in the womb, I was in the church and I loved Jesus and I knew Jesus loved me. But I had a tainted view of Jesus and I also had a tainted view of how he viewed me, if that makes sense. Because it got to this place where I was just crying out to him and I was like, I don't want to be here and I don't deserve to be here. I quite like see like I shouldn't even be here. And I think I need you. I was just like, I don't know who to turn to. I can't talk to my friends, can't talk to my siblings. I'm obviously at home with my parents, can't really talk to them because I just believe that they view me as just such a failure, even though that wasn't the case. Just too much, you know, your mind is just so troubled. And then I cried out to Jesus. I literally cried out, guys. It was like, Lord, if there's ever a time I needed you, it's right now. I need you now. I need you now, Jesus. I remember from that day forward, I felt like a heaviness had left me because for some reason, when your mind is really, really, really troubled, there's almost like an actual weight that you feel. I don't know if anyone's ever felt it before. I felt it where it's like, it feels like a weight and I didn't know how to express that. And you just hear things in your mind. The thoughts just keep like, it's like a hamster on a wheel. It just keeps going. It's never ending. It's just nonstop. From that day forward, I started to feel lighter. And I also realized I was actually going back to the word of God. But I went back this time to try get the understanding. So I was like, okay, I've chosen this Jesus and he says that he can free me and he says that he saves me and he says that he can give me peace. I haven't experienced any of these things. Why is that? So I started to kind of look for the answer. Why? As I started to look for the why, I started to get answers and I also started to receive the peace that I was looking for. I also felt the weight when I gave him my burdens lifted off of my shoulders. This actually works. Like, Jesus, you actually work. And not like he's a genie or anything, but I was like, you're actually who you say you are. And it was from then that I began to know Jesus. And he literally became my friend and he reconciled my relationship with my family. He reconciled my value, how I see myself. He just did so many things. And then I made the decision in 2018. Sorry for this whole long story, guys, but I made this decision to go back to uni then. And then I went back in 2019, September. Before I went back, I was praying to God because I was like, Lord, I actually do want to be educated. I do want to go to school. I do want to get a degree. But I'm not going to go if you don't tell me to go. Because I had switched from just doing my own will. I was like, okay, I actually want to do what you tell me to do. So basically, the Lord told me, he was like, do this course. And in the 4 years, because the course was 4 years, you will get your degree. And I was like, are you sure? Because this is coming from a girl who failed first year again, not even failed first year, dropped out first year. I started to see myself as like not really intellectual, not very smart. And I was just like, am I really cut out for it? I don't think so. And the Lord was like, 4 years. And it's going to be me that gets you through. Like he was basically telling me that the only way it can happen is if he does it for me. And that's how he's going to get the glory completely. Because I promise you, listen, I know everyone's like, oh, Esther, you're such a smart girl, but I know myself. I'm not necessarily book smart. Like I have to work extra hard to get my grades. It doesn't just come easy. Not that I'm saying it comes easy to loads of people, but you know what I mean? Some people are more creative and that would be me. Like I can think and I can come up with stuff. I'm kind of artistic in my own way. But when it comes to books, it takes like extra effort. And I was just like, Lord, I just can't do it. I can't do it. And then he would always redirect me to his word. What's the word say? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I was like, okay, cool, fine, fine, fine. We gonna do this. I go into first year, and this time I'm like tunnel vision. I'm like, no distractions, no nothing. I even move in with my brother, like, because my brother, there was like a house sharing situation. I move in with my brother. I'm like, I'm gonna be so focused this year. No distractions, no nothing. And then everything was going so well. First year, I'm passing. Second year, I'm passing. Third year, I'm passing. Fourth year, by the grace of God, I'm passing. And I get my degree. And I was like, oh, Lord, you really did that. And the crazy thing is, they were probably the 4 craziest years of my life. Like, first year was probably, oh, it was kind of easy. Like, but second to fourth year, guys, outside of just college, life in itself has never hit me the way it did. Life has never hit me the way it did in those 3 years, guys. I never want to experience that again in my life ever. But God was with me and He carried me through. And it's because of Him that I got through that. And in 4 years, I got my degree. Maybe it's not a big deal to many people, but for me, I knew what it took to make it to that finish line. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe that. It was graduation day. I was getting my degree. I passed my exams. And I got it. And all I could do is give all the glory back to God, because I promise you, the second time round, life was lifing. I know I say that all the time, but you guys can understand. I'm pretty sure life be happening to you guys too. But when you have God before you, when you put God as your center, when you surround your life around Jesus Christ, when you put His will before yours, you allow Him to take the lead, and He just takes over. He takes over, and He actually will just surprise you just like that. And it'll feel like, wow, that felt so quick. But when you were in it, it was like, oh my God, can this end? Can this end? Can this end? But I just give all glory to God for that. But all in all, that was like my uni kind of story. I could go deeper, but like, I don't want to make this a really long video. I think I kind of covered it all, but I think I'll go to the next section now and do the questions, because I really want to get to the questions that you guys have. And yeah, let's get to it. So our first question is, guys, I got my notebook again. So our first question is, what was your first day of uni like? That's a good question, but I don't think I can remember. I don't think I can remember, guys. I really can't. The first time round, 2016, I won't remember that. 2019, all I remember is I was like tunnel vision. I was like, I'm not talking to no one. Nobody's my friend. I'm not looking at anybody. That's it. But other than that, can't really remember much of it. So our second question is, what was your experience moving away from home, and how was it living away from your family? My experience moving away from home was actually not as difficult as it might be for a few people. Like, for one, I came home every weekend because I still went to church every single weekend, both the first time round and the second time round. Secondly, I was with my brother, so there was always a family member around, if that makes sense. And second time around, I actually went with my second brother. Like, all 3 of us were there, and then my sister ended up joining us. We all went to the same uni, by the way. So family was always around, which was a bonus. It was actually a blessing, to be honest. I'd say the biggest challenge living away from home is just adapting to like people's cleanliness, people's routines, people's schedules. Because the first house I lived in was a house of 10 people. I know, 10 people. And there was only one bathroom, one shower that worked. So you can just, picture that for yourselves. 10 people, one house, we're all going to uni. Let's say I never went back to that place. One thing I will say, when you move to uni, guys, it will show you how much, like, how unhygienic people are, how disgusting, how vile, how rotten, how grimy, just everything. Ew. Just ew. Like, people are so yucky. Like, people are so nasty. Like, we would have pots that people would use, never clean. Mold just builds up on all of those pots. Oh my God, guys, it was just disgusting. Like, it was rotten. I could go on for days about this, but it was rotten. Someone asked, was it easier to study in your accommodation in uni or study at home? 100%, I would say it's so much easier to study in your uni accommodation, mainly because it's what you're there for. You have your own space, no one's on your neck. You cook for yourself, clean for yourself. Like, whereas when you're at home, obviously it's more of like a family environment. You have to like cook for each other, clean after one another. You know, you kind of take care of each other, which is normal. It's a family home dynamic. But when you're at uni, you're there with the goal of like, you know what I mean? It's more of like, okay, I'm taking care of myself. I'm here to study. I haven't got that much on my plate for the main reason of dedicating that time to my studies. So 100%. Every time I used to try come home and study Mutupasi, like it would actually hurt my head so much. Couldn't do it. Like I just have to like eliminate study time at the weekend and just do it during the week because it's almost impossible at home. All right, guys. The fourth question is, how did I make genuine friendships at uni, both in Ireland and abroad? Oh, this is a good question. I would definitely say making genuine friendships. That's actually, I think that was my downfall the first time, guys. My environment. I met amazing people. Don't get it twisted. Like even till this day, most like I think like 60-70% of the people I know is because of uni, and they're such good people, such unique people, amazing people, great personalities. That doesn't mean that you have to be everyone's best friend, if that makes sense. You can be, you know, civil with people, be friendly with people, but it's not every single person that you let in, if that makes sense. Definitely be friends with people that you have things in common with, and be friends with people who you can be your true self around. I've talked about this in a previous video. I can't remember the name of it, but I, for a long time, started pretending to be someone I was not just to try fit in. Nobody asked me to do that. I took that burden upon myself, and I saw how it like messed me up because it was like the way I started to view myself, see myself. It wasn't good for my mind, and there was only a couple of people that I could fully be myself around, and I would definitely opt for those types of friendships. If you find yourself pretending, if you find yourself changing for the worst, there's no need to, you know, develop those kind of friendships. Find true friends by sticking around people you can be your true self around, people who you're comfortable around. And one thing I would definitely say is pray about it, because guys, bring everything to God in prayer. If it's also like something that's on your heart, it's like, Lord, I actually want good friends around me. I don't want to be alone on this journey. God can even give you that one friend. Like it might not be 1,000 friends, 1,000,000 friends, because before it used to be, oh yeah, it's better off to have a group of friends than to be a loner. But I can't lie, the older I grow, I prefer like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends compared to like 15 friends. Do you get what I mean? Just makes more sense. Just makes more sense. I'll move on to our next question. And I wanted to apologize, guys. I couldn't answer all the questions because there was just so many. There was just no, there was just so many, and obviously like because of time and stuff, I couldn't answer them all. But if you do want me to answer your question, please, please, please text me in the DMs, and I will definitely, I'll text you back. Thank you. Advice for an introvert that wants to break out of their shell. Listen, introvert to introvert, I got you. Like I actually got you. So for me, I was really, really nervous going into college. And one thing I learned in my first time going into college, my first year, was you can break out of your shell, but it just takes time. So you definitely should respect your own pace of how long it takes you to like to come out of your shell. I definitely say start in small steps, baby steps, you know, slowly but surely. Take it gradually. And what I mean by that is like you can start off really small by like you try to initiate convo with your classmates, or if you end up joining a group or a society, try to speak to at least like one person. Like try to set goals for yourself that like you can achieve, and it's kind of realistic. Because if you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna hang out with this group of people, it's more than likely not gonna happen, and if it does, it will make you really, really uncomfortable. So what I'll definitely say is start small, baby steps. Try maybe like one-to-one interactions. Try maybe initiate conversations. Another thing that I realize helps me so much is like if you compliment someone, if you see something on someone you really like, I try to practice this even till like today. I still like, I'll go up to someone, I'll be like, I love your shoes, I love your hair, it really really suits you, where did you get those earrings? And I mean it, obviously. I'm not just saying it so I can take something off a list, but it helps me come out of my shell a little bit and makes me that bit more confident. So that's what I definitely say to you. And also, a good piece of advice someone said to me was focus on your strengths. As an introvert, I realized I'm actually quite a good listener, and I pay attention to like the details of what people say to me. And that works well when speaking to new people, because you can like, as they're speaking to you, you can take into consideration what they're saying and kind of repeat it back or relate it to yourself. So like the conversation kind of gets going. And more time, like people who are introverts kind of have more meaningful connections. Hey, could be a hot take, but I'm just saying, you probably have like those one or two friends that like you're really close to, and it took time to develop those friendships, and rightly so, because now you can really say like you've true friendships with them. So don't rush into anything, but also don't hold yourself back, and set achievable goals for yourself. That would be my advice to you. My biggest lesson was definitely not put my value in my degree. God spoke to me about that in my second year, because I started to get very overwhelmed. You know, obviously you're passing your exams and stuff, but there also comes like a pressure and a responsibility that comes with that. And because I started putting almost my confidence in myself, I started to see, okay, I'm achieving this. I started to take my eyes off of Jesus, if that makes sense. And I began to feel that weight again, like the heaviness. I was like, oh, this is too much pressure. And God was like, you're putting your value in this degree, and you feel like you have to take it upon yourself to get this degree, when I told you this was a promise I made to you, and you have to allow me to do what I can do so that you can attain this promise. And I was like, but God, like obviously with achievements, like you see the displays of affection, I definitely say, but God was just saying to me, this is not going to increase my love for you, nor is it going to decrease my love for you if you fail or if you pass. I'm telling you that your value is not in this degree, because that's how you see it. And he was very right, because I started to put my worth in a piece of paper. Let's just put it that way. But he was like, I saw you valuable enough to die for you. Your value is not in this piece of paper. This is an achievement that you're going to get, something that you can be proud of, something that brings glory to my name, but that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't put your value in a piece of paper. Don't put your value in a marriage. Don't put your value in a job. You're valuable because God says you are. Okay? That's all. That's all I got to say on that. That's my biggest lesson, because I still carry it till this day. And the last question, sum up your uni experience in 3 words. Okay. If I was to sum up my uni experience in 3 words, I would say uni was unforgettable. Uni was challenging, to say the least. And uni was transformative. Now, I picked these 3 words because I will never, ever, ever forget that stage of my life. It's quite literally unforgettable. Good ways and in bad ways. It was also transformative. I will never be the same person. I have not been the same person since my whole uni experience. And I would say challenging, because acknowledge the challenges you went through uni. You know, you went through loss, through grief, through a lot of things that happened through uni. So the challenges, uni wouldn't be uni without them. So that would be my 3 words: unforgettable, transformative, and challenging, to say the least. Now guys, that sums up our video for today. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, you're a real one, you're a trooper. I always say that, but honestly, to the people who make it to the end of my video, I love you guys so much. You guys are the best. And just to leave you off, I just want to remind you, if I haven't said it enough times, uni is challenging, and it can be extremely challenging to you. It can take a toll on your mind, on your spiritual life, whatever the case may be. But what I will say is that as children of God, as a child of God, I realized that I had a unique strength that I could draw from. Like, I didn't have to be strong. He is strong for me. I kept going back to Proverbs, and I would read, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, submit to him in all your ways, and he will make your path straight. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. Submit to him in all of your ways, and he will make your path straight. Second time when I went in, everything that seemed like this, when I tell you, with him, it was not easy, but I promise you, he will make your path straight. I've experienced that for myself. I just want to encourage anyone to stay strong in your faith, to keep pushing forward, and to trust God with your life. Guys, God has done wonders through me. This degree is just a testament of his love, his mercy, his kindness towards me, and I'm so grateful. Like, when I think about it, I'm pushed to tears because I'm just reminded of how kind and how good God is. So I hope this video can encourage someone. I hope this video was enjoyable for you guys. You guys know the drill. If you like this video, click the like button down below. Leave a comment if you will. Start a conversation down in the comments, guys. Don't be shy. Get to know one another. You know, we only got like 3 or 4 loyal commenters. I want more, guys. You guys are viewing these videos. Leave a comment. Did you enjoy the video? Did you not enjoy the video? Let us know in the comments down below. We want to hear from you. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Join the family. Don't miss a video. Don't miss a conversation. Guys, that brings us to the end of this video. You know I love you. But what do I always say? Jesus loves you more, and that's just facts. You know how we do, guys. We're just here to have a conversation with you. Bye.